All right, so in this video, you are going to learn how to bypass the egoic mind in your marketing so that you can get more leads and make more sales. And this is exactly what we've done with one of our clients who we're working with. And we launched a fresh ad campaign last week, right? So this is July, it's July 19th now. We launched this last week. We spent $168. We've got 5 booked calls at $33 per booked call, as well as 40 leads at $4.21 per lead. So this is the exact process that we were using with these ads. And another thing that I'll highlight as well is that this client is freshly starting out in this space. She only has 53 followers, as you can see here. And she's also in the B2C space, so women's leadership coach, which some people would say is highly saturated. So we've used this approach to attract her ideal client. She's also got a sale as well. So we're sitting at, it would be just under a 10x ROAS with this ad campaign that we're running. So what I wanted to go over here was really about messaging. So if you can understand your ideal client so specifically, and you understand that your ideal client has specific thinking patterns, and your job as a marketer is to bypass the ego and align your messaging with their thinking patterns to the point where you're communicating their situation so specifically that they can't help but pay attention. Because I'm sure, you scroll on social media and you see all of these ads and you're like, who the heck listens to this? Or like clicks this, right? But if you something hits your algorithm and your feed and it aligns with your thinking patterns, or it's such a direct call out to your current situation, you can't help but at least pay attention. And then from there, it's just a chain of aligning the messaging in the marketing to those thinking patterns to the point where people are excited, intrigued, or curious enough to click and go to the next step. So that's exactly what we've done with this client. And I want to just go over some tips and tricks that I have learned with doing the right messaging and understanding the right messaging so that you can attract your ideal client, right? So first is the power of maybe. Using maybe when describing someone's pain or desire helps you cast a wider net. It reduces internal resistance if you don't describe their situation perfectly, right? So for example, if you say, in your ad, your call out is you're working longer hours, but you still feel behind. Instead of saying you're doing this and you're kind of just directing it at them and saying you are doing this, you could cast a wider net and create less resistance by saying maybe you're working longer hours, but you still feel behind. And this way, instead of the viewer rejecting your words, they start to reflect and think to themselves, maybe I am feeling this way. Right? So they start to internalize and ask themselves, maybe kind of leads to it being more so like a question rather than a specific statement that you're saying, this is you. So that helps with removing the resistance. Another thing that you can add into your messaging is modality multipliers. So these don't change the core message, but they change how the message feels. And they often end in ly or ly. So for example, if you're wanting to describe something that's more doable, then you can use words like easily and simply. If you're wanting to describe something that's more trustworthy, you can use reliably and consistently. More appealing or efficient, you can use seamlessly, effectively, predictably. These things are kind of hypnotic style words which just compound or add to the core message. So these are another thing that can help just bypass the ego. Next is belief statements. So this is about creating a cause effect in your ideal client's mind. So if you create a statement, if you say that there's a statement and then you attach to that statement one of these words, so leading to, because, allowing, meaning, that means, causing, creating, that then allows the person to just accept what you're attaching to that statement, right? So here's what I mean by this. Creating a repeatable process doesn't just save time. Creating a repeatable process doesn't just save time, it builds momentum, meaning you stop starting from scratch and start scaling with certainty. So because of this simple word here, this meaning, you kind of just accept this because I'm giving a reason as to why this is true. So I make this statement, and this could be something that's quite broad or doesn't have much weight behind it yet. But then you can just back it up and say, and have one of these connecting words that create a cause and effect, right? So this is the cause, this is the effect. So, meaning you stop starting from scratch and you start scaling with certainty. You kind of just, this just bypasses the ego again, because you're just accepting this thing as true, because I'm saying that means this, right? So lastly, what I have here is energy intensifiers. So these are words like plus. Not only that, we'll also give you, and most important, on top of that, you'll also get even better, to make it even more. These are just things that compound and add to the momentum of what you are talking about. And it allows your ideal client to get excited about what you're talking about as well. It sounds like there's this compounding stack on of what else is to come. So these are just some things that I've been using in my marketing messages with Facebook ads, doing reels, VSLs, everything. All of it comes down to understanding that your ideal client is a person and people think. So why not work with the ways that people think and align with their thinking patterns so that you can call out their current situation better than any of your competitors and cut through the noise. That's exactly what we did with our client here. 53 followers in a pretty saturated niche, and then leading to 5 booked calls at $33 a call, and then $4.21 leads. So it's definitely possible if you have the right messaging and you put the time in to do your market research and understand your ideal client's current situation. If you want a copy of this doc, I will put this in the description. And if you're wanting more sales and marketing tips, just like this post and subscribe for more. Thanks.